Welcome, Incorrigible-ites. We are finally all back together. We had a bit of a break there, a bit of a solo adventure of me trying to get home. I hope you all enjoyed the Long Haul 1983. But we're not quite back with Stormcape. We are still taking a break from Stormcape. Should be back probably next release, depending how long this goes. But we are going to play the introductory adventure for a new system called Draw Steel. No affiliation. I am looking into lawsuit. Matt Colville will be served with papers for my copyright infringement very soon. But we're still going to play the latest RPG system from MCDM Productions, headed by Matt Colville. Some of you may be familiar with him and some of his work. And this system was recently kickstarted, hasn't quite fully delivered, but what they've put out to their backers and their patrons is basically kind of the first chunk of it, the first, like, the bulk of it. I mean, it was 125 page of rules they set out, a bunch of pre-gen characters in which we are playing, an adventure, an introductory adventure, and then a second longer adventure that can tie into the introductory one, which we may visit if we enjoy the system, and if you all enjoy this one shot, then we can certainly look into bringing our characters back and maybe playing that extended adventure. But the point of this system is like to shine a light and enable grand heroism and cinematic events is I think what Matt Colville is really about in a lot of his games, and a lot of the videos that he puts out. So the system itself is meant to be very tactical when you're in combat. It needs to be played with some type of gridded map, so you can take full advantage of character abilities and interactions, which I'm sure you will see in this play. The interactions between all of the characters and what they can do and chain off of each other seems like it can be very involved if you want to really dive into it, take full advantage of it. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, we're going to put our own role-playing spin on it. There are other aspects of the role play that have been kind of codified when it comes to like negotiating with NPCs, which we may get a chance to explore that as well in the one shot. And this one shot, I'm going to be sticking I haven't changed anything in this one shot, which is very rare. I was very tempted to change the bulk of it, but I figured not changing it. I figured not doing just that was going to be the best way to show highlight the system itself. So I'm sticking on the book. I promise. I'm going to do things by the book. Hopefully you'll still be entertained and surprised and all the general stuff that comes with the play when the five of us are together. As far as rules go, as we go, we'll explain some differences in rules. Many of you that are familiar with 5e, Dungeons & Dragons 5e, will certainly see and recognize some analogs. I definitely don't want to continuously being like, this works like this in 5e. We're just going to explain the rules, how it works and functions in this system. The standalone system as its own. We don't need to keep referencing 5e, or at least we'll try not to. Obviously, that's going to be a good benchmark for us as we're learning it, because we are all learning it. This is the first time we are going to be playing this system as well. Inevitably, we will forget some things. If you yourself are out there listening and are a backer and have learned this yourself, please let us know what things you liked, what mechanics you like. The system seems very interesting, and I think we're going to enjoy this play. Not sure that we would enjoy the way that the five of us role play using this as a full campaign. I'm not entirely sold on that yet, but I'm excited to jump in. So let's just get started right away without a huge rules overview, because I don't think it's going to be necessary. But basically, this system uses 2d10s instead of a d20. That apparently changes drastically a bunch of the mass of the die roll and the die outcomes. And a big cornerstone of the system is when you do this, they're called power tests. You roll the 2d10 and add one of your associated characteristics, which are like might, agility, persuasion, presence, maybe not persuasion. I know, they're all in front of me somewhere.
Reason, intuition.
Thank you very much. A +1, getting a +1 or more to a power roll is supposed to be very impactful, rolling with 2d10 versus like a d20, according to the maths, apparently. your rolls are broken down into 3 tiers. So when you hear us reference tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, the higher the tier, the better the result for you. That's what we're kind of mentioning. When it comes to attacks, your tier 1 attack is always going to deal some amount of damage. So that's the other main difference. Your combat is supposed to flow very quickly because damage is always being dealt every round. So hopefully we'll get a chance to really highlight the combat, because I think that's where this system attempts to shine the brightest. The introductory adventure we're playing is called Bay of Blackbottom. The heroes, the 4 of you, which we will get to introductions in due time, but you've been hired onto the crew of the Revelation, which is a passenger ship en route to Blackbottom. It seems like a ship of some sort has become our you meet in a tavern, because I feel like a lot of things happen on boats. But the ship's captain, Captain Oriole, she has claimed that she claims and has, as part of her hiring process to you, that the route has been overrun with pirates lately. So she has hired the 4 of you as basically security guards on the ship to keep the passengers safe in the event that something goes wrong. So you're a few days out from Blackbottom. You're kind of crossing this open sea, and morning comes. Dawn is just about to break over the ocean. The gentle morning waves kind of cradle and rock the Revelation, which is a fairly sizable passenger ship. All is quite quiet, save for a few early morning birds and snoring of the off-duty crew. You're packed kind of like sardines into the crew quarters of the ship, where the sailors sleep, kind of in this disorganized mess of hammocks and bedrolls. It seems like the space is a little too small for the size of the crew. Even though you're on contract and not part of the normal crew that basically lives on the ship, as long voyages means a very limited amount of time actually on shore. So, the crew kind of, they think of the ship as their home, right? But even though you're on contract, the Captain Oriole, she's treated you exactly like she does as her full-time crew, with respect, fairness, and, the occasional razzing. In a few moments, a whistle will sound, one you've all, heard for the number of days as you've been on this ship, traveling to Blackbottom. But this whistle signifies the day shift waking, basically, this crew change from the nighttime crew to the daytime crew. But this quiet moment, it's kind of a rarity in your last few days here at sea. It belongs to you. This gentle bird squawking, finally getting some light coming into the through the wooden planks of this room. And now it would be a great time for your characters to introduce yourselves. Maybe give the listener a reason why your character agreed to come onto the ship. Let's start with Emily.
My character is Korak. He's a dwarf, and he's a conduit healer. He agreed to come on this journey because his close friend and has always been talking about traveling someday. He fell ill and passed away. So now I'm out living that dream for both of us. Don't really like the ship. Much prefer being on solid Earth. But we do what we gotta do.
Alana.
I'm playing a Fury named Vorma. So I'm a berserker. My career is gladiator. And I took off for the hero's life after victorious in an arena. Someone heckled me and said, "This violence is just for show. You should be ashamed. There are people who need you, who need your skills." So I'm just trying to be useful and took on the hero's life. So obviously I'm hired muscle.
Obviously. I mean, look at you.
And I'm thick-thighed. Yeah.
Oh, they save lives.
Thick thighs save lives.
Bill.
Thick thighs, thin patience. So, I am a high elf elementalist. My name is A Storm in a Single Drop of Rain.
Or drop.
Or some people call me Drop, some people call me Storm, some people call me Single Drop. Some people call me Asiastor.
I mean...
if you're a fan of acronyms.
Asiastor. Mm-hmm. And we're all so surprised that you're an elf elementalist, aren't we?
Well, I decided to choose. I didn't want to be a wizard again in this playthrough, so I picked an elementalist to try something different. So I hope you all enjoy that.
Can I call you Mic Drop because you're so witty?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's yet to be seen here. So let's not jump. Let him earn his nickname.
I mean, if we can call him Astor, like you said.
It's not quite how it's pronounced. So, how I ended up here, I was studying magic back on my home where I come from, far, far away, different plane, I guess you could say, and had a bit of an oopsie, teleported me here. So now I am out adventuring, seeing what there is to see, looking for any texts, any ruins, any old ancient knowledge that might help me get back, because I'm not quite sure how to replicate what I did. So I'm just making the best of what I can until I can find a way home.
Okay, and finally, John.
I am Sir Gerald. I am a soldier. Well, was a soldier. After surviving, the lone survivor of a massive attack, I realized that maybe it's best that I leave the soldiering life and go into the adventuring life, where my skills and power can be more readily used to help humanity. And that's why I'm here, to help these, well, somewhat adventurers. With my guidance, they will go all the way.
Okay, so you all know each other then, obviously, before coming onto the job, or maybe perhaps you simply met on the boat?
I'd say we've been around a little bit. We know each other somewhat. A couple months, maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've definitely perhaps taken a similar job elsewhere, maybe in Blackbottom itself, perhaps, before, moving on from this major city, eventually just to come find yourselves on your way right back to it. But again, that moment of quiet quickly passes. It's very fleeting on a ship as full as the Revelation. And that whistle sounds for the shift change. The grumbling of the crew around you stirring. Some of them perhaps maybe, when you wake up before your alarm because it's always just, you wake at the same time, it's just by rote. Your body just kind of knows. You get up like that minute before it's supposed to go off. Maybe a few of the crew members are also trying to enjoy that bit of silence before things, the activity starts to stir up. But even as, everyone's getting to their feet and preparing for their day, you can hear from above deck, from the night crew that's about to swap over, like some type of commotion. They're calling down to the four of you to quickly get up onto deck to help them with something.
Time to go. Let's make haste to the top.
Oh, dwarves do not move quickly. Give me a moment.
I'm not awake yet.
Why, it's a beautiful day. Let's go.
Yes, come on. No time to lay around here. We need it. We're hired to do a job. Get up! I go grab. Korak.
Oh,
Get up, dwarf.
I'm getting. Let's go.
Hurry! Someone's overboard! Help!
I run up the steps.
Yep,
Sword drawn.
same.
Okay.
Sorry, not sword. I have like a trident, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's very fitting for your sea adventure. So.
That's right.
Vorma starts looking for a rope or a flotation device.
Okay, excellent. You'd definitely be able to find something like that up on deck, perhaps not in the crew quarters themselves. But you see from the crew quarters, like you exit into kind of a hallway that runs basically the length of the ship, like back down to or to the bow where like the captain's quarters would be. But then a flight of stairs leading right up to deck, immediately to your left as you exit the crew quarters. And I think, John, for Sir Gerald, perhaps people have affectionately, some of the crew affectionately call you Poseidon or like Triton, as like a nickname because you run around with your trident, or Sir Gerald of the Sea, perhaps maybe. But as you're sprinting up, like you can hear like the wake of the ship, right? As the ship is always making progress. That's why you have this swapping of crew, right? So there's always somebody manning and steering the ship throughout the night. So you're continuing these days and potentially weeks of travel, right? But you can hear the wake of the ship and the waves lapping against it, and you can see there is another high elf. I mean, the crew or the passengers of the ship. Like again, you've been on the ship already for a number of days, so like you've met and spoken briefly with some of them, probably many of them. You see a high elf is at the railing of the ship, like kind of mid deck, right as you come up. Her name, is Waves of Moonlight on a Shore of Glass. The crew again call her Waves for short. She is like almost like leaning to fall over this rail herself, screaming at the water, like screaming for help, help, Lorelei, you fool! What have you done? And for those that can rush to the railing themselves, you see thrashing around in the water is a human woman who has clearly somehow gone overboard. Many of the crew up here are scrambling around to lower lifeboats down into the water as well. Vormak, you want to find some type of flotation device or rope to throw out. Vorma, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Kind of combined the two names together.
Vorma and Korak, yeah. Yeah, I would want to try to calm this human down as we get the boats in the water. Save their energy, don't drown or something. Maybe they can't swim, who knows?
Yeah, you could find like a flotation ring and a length of rope for sure.
I would like to use some magic.
Sure.
If I could. I can teleport a small object, a size 1 object, so you'll have to tell me if that would apply to this or not.
Sure.
Oh, shoot. No, I can only teleport it 1 square.
Dangle it above her head.
What Vorma can do is attempt to throw it out, and depending how close she gets, you may be able to manipulate it closer if Vorma is, 5 feet off or a square off.
Okay.
So, Vorma, why don't you make me this is going to be an easy test. When it comes kind of setting like a difficulty challenge, there's easy, medium, and hard test outcomes, each of which have their own 3 tiers of outcomes, right? Obviously, in the easier outcomes, they're going to be easier for you to succeed, but you're basically going to achieve less. So, do you have some type of skill listed on your sheet that you might want to apply to this power roll or this skill roll?
I am proficient in endurance, jumping, lifting, and swimming. No, I don't.
Okay. All right. As you are grabbing this and throwing, I'll let you apply lift. Sure. I'll let you apply your lift skill. So because you can apply a skill to this power roll, you get a +2. So you're going to roll 2d10 + 2.
2d10 plus 2, ready? Ooh, that is an 8 and a 9. So 17, 18, 19.
Okay, so that is very clearly a
Crit.
tier 3 roll. That's not a crit because it's not a natural 19. A critical is natural 19 and natural 20 before adding any bonuses. So you don't crit.
Do you even lift, bro?
But you easily, even as this human who her name is Lorelei, you see the water is like, above her head. She's bobbing up and down, sputtering, and she starts to kind of sink, and she's got one arm still kind of up, flailing, and you like a horseshoe, you like loop this little flotation ring around her arm, and she kind of grabs onto it. She is able to like stay afloat as the crew get the lifeboat finally in the water and they can get out to her. So because you succeeded so well, so Lorelei is grabbed onto the ring, and you see like she starts to calm like you wanted, right? Calms down, waiting for the lifeboat. But as the lifeboat is getting to her, you see she like spots something in the water, and she like plucks something out of the water and then is like clutching it very fiercely. As the crew members kind of hoist her up into this lifeboat. The revelation has been slowed as this person's gone overboard. They get the lifeboat and Lorelei back up onto the deck, and she's like kind of sputtering still, but she's got that hand closed, and Waves kind of rushes over to her, and Lorelei opens her palm, and you all see like she has retrieved this very dainty looking kind of porcelain ring, light enough where it was still able to float even having been dropped overboard. Waves is like looking at her. Oh my, you idiot. Oh, But she's clearly very happy that Lorelei has retrieved her ring, and she slips it onto what would be traditionally, even in this world, like the ring you would put a wedding ring on, right?
The ring you would put a ring on.
Or the finger in which you would wear a wedding ring.
I'm just messing.
And Lorelei, still sputtering, she's like, a smile kind of creeps across her face as Waves is like saying, they said until death do us part, but I didn't realize it might be that quickly, you idiot. And they're clearly very happy and turning to... Waves turns to Vorma. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your quick action. Thank you for quickly responding, everybody, as she's kind of talking to the whole crew. So you each, because you've successfully gotten Lorelei and managed to help her get this ring, you all receive, or the group receives, one hero token, which is actually not something that I've explained to you all yet. But a hero token is kind of a shared resource with the group at any time. As a free action, you can basically spend a hero token to use a recovery. And using recovery is basically a way that you heal yourself. Your hit point pool it's called stamina in this game, and each class has a certain number of recoveries in which you can spend an action in combat or outside of combat to basically use a recovery and gain back some stamina. Generally, you will gain back a number of stamina equal to 1/3 of your maximum stamina total. All of which, of course, you all find on your character sheets written. But as a hero token, it does not require an action. You can use it on your turn, like in response to you getting taking damage. You can just use it to be able to use. Basically, you get a free recovery.
Well, Vorma will look at Waves and say, "Don't mention it. That's why we're here. I'm hungry. Is someone making breakfast?"
Yes, so the commotion is kind of settled down now. The Lorelei is back on deck. You see she and Waves kind of move off to the front of the ship. And absolutely, you can all visit down in the galley and look for something to eat. The switch over in crew hasn't quite finished yet, as some of the waking crew will be grabbing breakfast, while some of the night crew will be, getting their final meal before they settle in themselves for sleep. So yes, you can assemble in the galley. What kind of things would each of your characters maybe be doing for your day on the ship? Now, obviously, you're here in the event of some type of threat, but are there some type of safeguards or precautions that maybe the four of you as a group or individually would be basically doing on a normal day, even with no kind of violent interruption?
We're here to protect from pirates, right?
Yeah, potentially, exactly. You're here to just make sure the crew and the passengers make it to Blackbottom safely.
And I think what I would probably do is be on the front of the ship and looking out over the horizon to see if there's any baddies around and available to lift any heavy things.
Okay. Anybody else?
Being fairly lithe and nimble, and also having some magic that can allow me to kind of get around fairly easily. I often tend to go to kind of hard to reach or maybe even some dangerous places to tend to the ship, make sure that it's in good order. So I might be, way up on a mast, or I might be out on, I don't know the terminology for ships, unfortunately, but...
the bowsprit?
The poop deck?
Yeah, exactly. That one. But I might be off to the side of the ship on one of the tending to the lanterns that are strung out on poles off of the side of the ship, or I might be tending to the anchor that's dangling off the side of the ship, or way up high in places that are otherwise fairly hard to reach. Maybe don't get maintenance done to them as often because of that. So you kind of see me kind of zipping around. I can use magic to teleport from here to there, sort of at will.
Okay. And maybe every so often, you just appear and you like startle one of the crew members, right? Not quite used to the way you can kind of manipulate your physical space and appear in various places, but definitely do prove to be very handy and probably not conducting some repairs yourselves, but at least being able to inspect areas and informing the crew of areas which they need to, jury up some type of like rope rig that they can kind of hoist themselves down the side of the boat and patch up any potential holes or cracks in the side of it.
Vorma would like to be working out. lifting heavy things.
Okay. So what and where would you attempt to find something to...
I think I'd be on the deck because I want to be around if someone needs me to help with something. Tying down the sails or... Yeah, I'm just as bad as Bill. Anyway. Yeah, I'm like doing squats on the stairs. I'm like picking up heavy bags and setting them down. Like, you know, curling the anchor maybe.
Okay.
If anyone's interested to spar with me, I'd be sparring and teaching them some of the martial arts and some sword work.
Okay, I like that.
Are you gonna offer?
Yeah, I think people would know by now. This is what I do with my time during the day, and if people want training, yeah.
Okay, I like that. So, as you've been doing that on this passage, there has been one passenger, because generally, you know, when the crew is kind of off shift, it's like they're sleeping basically, right? It's like a 12-hour kind of turnaround. So many of the crew, while there's definitely interest from the crew, while they're doing their duties, they don't really have the time to be spending, you know, with you, despite lots of interest. But obviously the passengers they're here to, you know, they need to find their own type of entertainment. So there's kind of an elderly human passenger. His name's Samuel. He's, you know, been very curious. He hasn't quite joined in with you yet, but he's always been around, just kind of taking in, you know, you like your shadow boxing stuff, you know, what you do, and like watching you impressed at your curling anchors, you know, and that kind of stuff. So like you've kind of like struck up a bit of a rapport with Samuel, and you've maybe spoken a few words in passing, but this morning he actually kind of comes up to you this day. Hello there.
Hi. Hi, Sammy.
Training as usual?
Oh yeah, look at this swelling. Oh, I'm so swole.
Yes, very, very impressive. I remember back in my youth. Now, I feel a little silly asking you of this, but please, can you keep something between the two of us?
Sure.
Well, as you may know, you know, passage on this ship is quite costly. Additional fees to bring pets on board, I couldn't really cover. But despite that, I may have done something I shouldn't. I smuggled my beloved Private Stoneheart on board, but he's gone missing.
What is a Stoneheart?
Well, he's my bird. He's beautiful, glorious golden feathers. And you see he's wearing like kind of an oversized jacket, which maybe it seems like a little heavier for how unseasonably warm it is out here. But he kind of opens up one flap of it, and you can see on the inside, you know, like if you would open it and you got a string of watches on there, but instead of like a bunch of merchandise, there looks like there's this kind of sewn in pouch in which like a bird would sit. And he kind of said, like, usually he's in my jacket, but I don't know. He just... A draft came and he flew out, and I can't find him anywhere. Please, if the crew finds out, I can't afford to keep him here.
Oh, birds do fly, you know. We see birds all the time. It's should be fine.
No, he's not an ocean bird.
Does he answer to his name?
You can try. He also likes when you sing to him.
Any specific tunes?
Something, happy, you know, upbeat.
Okay, happy songs. I'll have to think of one of those. There's no land in sight. Where could he have gone?
Perhaps he's below deck. I've looked all above deck here, and no sign of him. I haven't heard of any crew finding him either. Somebody would have said something.
Do you have any enemies on this ship?
No, what?
Just asking.
Do you?
I always have enemies.
I assure you, I'm not one of them, and neither is Private Stoneheart.
Oh, I know, Sammy. It's okay. I'll get me friends, Whoa, I'm not a pirate. I'll get my friends... Wait, you said I can't tell anyone. Can I tell my friends?
I mean, look, it's just... If the crew finds out, I can't afford to pay for Private Stoneheart. I don't know what they'll do.
We'll figure something out. Let me tell my buddies and we'll look for him.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully he's alive.
I hope.
If he's dead, do you still want him?
Yes,
He sounds very beautiful. We could stuff him.
That is atrocious.
It's what we do in my culture.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to offend. Apologies. I know. If you find him dead, please, I would like to give him a proper burial once we get back to Blackbottom.
So you suspect below deck. We shall start there.
Thank you.
I'll go find everyone else and describe the bird. Stoneheart responding to happy singing, and I guess we'll just before happy singing, security wandering around below deck.
A bird, you say?
Shh!
I say loudly. What type of bird?
Golden feathered.
Golden feathered bird.
Shh! Stop it!
Why are you shushing me?
He's a stowaway.
A bird? A stowaway? Birds fly around. They can land anywhere they wish.
They charge for pets. So you better zip it.
They charge for pets? That seems wrong in some way.
You gonna pay for him?
Of course not. That would be ludicrous.
Sammy's a good guy. Keep this on the down low, Gerald.
I would think a golden bird would be very easy to spot. Being gold and all. And a bird.
I wasn't told if his poop was golden, but maybe we'd see some birds scatter around.
Why do you speak of poop?
'Cause that's how we could track him.
Ah.
You idiot. I'll start looking.
I look at the others and sort of put my hand up like, I don't understand why she called me an idiot, but if we would look for any colored poop, we may find this golden bird. Oh, golden bird. Sorry, I said it too loud.
I'm gonna look for feathers, claw marks, peck marks, like,
Yes. Okay, absolutely.
seed, holes in bags, down in the food storage.
So where where explicitly do you want to look first? Like down in the crew quarters, or?
I want to avoid crew. I don't know about you guys.
Korak's been exploring this ship the entire time they've been to sea. So he's below deck because he spends as little time above deck as possible. He does not like how big the sky is. It's too open. So he's inside the ship as much as possible. So I would imagine he would know some good places to look that might be out of the way.
You can squeeze into the small little crevices.
Okay, so Korak, having kind of been spending this time below deck, the only place on the ship that you haven't been in is the cargo hold. You have noticed the first few days of the voyage that the door leading into the cargo hold is actually the only place where there are kind of additional guards posted on the ship. Like these people are, they're basically, the door is manned, and should you if you had asked to enter it and explore, they would have said, precious cargo, sorry, crew only, you're not allowed into this cargo hold. So other than the cargo hold, you absolutely know some little nooks below deck to search. I would say probably you would be the one that would catch sight of Private Stoneheart first. You do kind of see he's like perched up on a cluster of boxes, and he's just kind of like tap. You can hear the soft little tap of his little claw toes, right? And he's kind of hopping around, and his head's just kind of flitting back and forth. And then it's like you kind of make eye contact with him.
Oh, hello, birdie. How are you? Happy song. Yes, I am singing a happy song. Hello, everybody else. Bird. You
found a bird?
Varma, I found the thing you were looking for.
Oh, yes. Gerald, shut up.
What color's its poop?
I don't see any. He's way up high on a box. I can't see the top of the box.
I can get the box down.
But don't scare. Don't scare the stop. Don't scare the thing.
Yes, Gerald. Perhaps.
Yes. Sir Gerald to you. My friend.
Right. Yes, of course. We might want to be. We don't want to spook it and have it fly.
I will lower the box very slowly.
Happy song.
La la la, and I start moving the box.
Okay.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Who is going to be trying to get a hold of Private Stoneheart?
Well, I could teleport directly beside, but
Obsessed with teleporting.
that would put me on top of the box that Sir Gerald is now holding.
So, Sir Gerald, you got this box up, kind of lifted up, and you see Private Stoneheart is on this box, and he hasn't quite taken flight, but his wings are unfurled, and he's like puffed up his chest, and has started to like flap them or rustle them.
I stop. I don't move the box anymore.
Happier song.
Someone else sing. That's the only song I know.
Sir Gerald, I'm going to apologize in advance. I hope you're as strong as you look. And I teleport on top of the box.
A storm and a single drop of rain. What are you doing?
Two things happen simultaneously. I'll get Drop to make me. You will be making me an agility test. Now I will say, okay. How about Emily? Can you please give me a presence? Yeah, give me a presence roll, and I'll let you add your animal handle skill to it, so you can add a +2 to your roll. And this is going to be a medium test for you as you are singing to Private Stoneheart to attempt to calm him down. And it's medium because of John also singing. So Sir Gerald's tune. I'll knock it from a hard test to a medium test because the singing's not very good.
Oh, I thought you were going the other way.
No.
So I rolled an 18. My presence is a 2. So that's a 20 total, but +2 for the animal handling, so 22.
Absolutely, 22. So yes, you absolutely succeed in your task. The singing has kind of lulled Private Stoneheart. He hasn't taken off. He's on, furling his wings now, pulling them closer to his body as he's calming down. Drop, you can make me an agility test, which normally would be hard, but now because of this very easily succeeded presence test from what's your name, Korak, I'll knock it down to a medium test.
No problem.
Do you have any skills you can add to this? I mean, it's you're adding your characteristic of agility. If you have any skills that you think might apply, you'll get an additional +2.
So, I don't exactly have a great deal of skill in, gymnastics or anything like that. I have handle animals, which isn't quite applicable to bouncing on top of a box, but...
You're making this agility roll to catch the bird. You're not... This isn't a balance. This is catching Stoneheart. Yeah. So yes, absolutely, your handle animals. Handle animals will give you a +2. Your agility is only 1, so you can add... You're going to be rolling 2d10 +3 to this.
0 is a 10.
Yes, right. Of course, I knew that. So it's a 13 plus 3 is 16.
Okay, so that is a tier 2 result. Tier 2 is 12 to 16. So you succeed in this task with the consequence. So you get a hold of Private Stoneheart, and you have him firmly. But yes, you've teleported to this box that Sir Gerald, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna have to make me a might roll to keep a hold of this box up as Drop has teleported on top of it.
So I got a 2 of might, and now I have another skill of endurance. Would that be applicable here for an additional 2?
Absolutely, because you are just keeping this thing held up. So yes, you absolutely can do that.
You might say that he's trying to not drop.
All right, that's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is for... did you say that was an easy or a medium?
This is going to be a medium. But that's going to depend on, what I give you. So your total is 11.
Yes.
So unfortunately, you fail the task. Tier 1 on a medium outcome is fail the task with a consequence. So you can't hold this box up with Drop suddenly on top of you. You're just not ready for it. You're busy singing. You're trying to hold a tune and this box at the same time. That's one too many things to hold at one time. So you drop the box as Drop gets a hold of Private Stoneheart. Private Stoneheart squawks like as loud as it can as drop. Maybe you tighten a little too much as you're falling. I'll let you keep a hold on Private Stoneheart, but as this bird squawks out, you can see down the hall from the crew quarters, like a crew member pokes his head out at the squawk of this bird now. And Drop, you're sprawled out. This box is now cracked open, and like rigging supplies and rope have spilled out of it. The four of you are standing over this dumped gear, Drop with this bird, and now you have a crew member quickly approaching.
I'm gonna step in the way and go squawk, 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 squawk. Good day for a squawk, don't you think? And walk up to the crew member and try and stop him from going any further.
Good day for a squawk?
Yeah, squawk.
I step up behind her because I'm a larger person to block more visual.
Okay, more view.
I go, put my hand on his shoulder and go, oh yeah, this guy loves a good squawk.
Squawk.
What?
It's kind of weird.
I've never heard of this before. What do you do it first thing in the morning?
Oh, it's like a stretch. You just go, you put your arms out and you squawk.
Oh.
Try it. You should try it. Try it, yes.
Squawk, squawky squawk, squawk, squawk. Wow. Yeah. I could. Oh,
Feels
man.
good.
I've had a knot in my shoulder for days. It's starting to loosen up with a bit of a squawk.
It really is the best noise to make while you squawk. And Vorma stretches her large arms out.
Vorma, both your arms just kind of smack into the side of this tight hallway, like you can't even get the full stretch.
I have to do mine above deck usually, but
Okay, well, if you could keep your squawks above deck, we're the night shift's trying to sleep in here.
Sorry. Yes, we will from now on. Sorry.
All right. Squawk, 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 as he starts to walk away to go back to bed.
I look over at Drop and go, I'm glad he didn't say anything about the box. Sort of push the pieces of it over into the corner.
Okay.
So anything out of the ordinary in that box? In the pieces of the box?
As you kind of examine, maybe quickly rifle through it before departing, no, it just seems like it's standard kind of rigging gear, just like replacement ropes, for some of the sails and that kind of stuff. So nothing strange in this box.
I kind of try to stand up as gingerly as I can and release my grip a little bit on Private Stoneheart.
You don't want to choke that chicken too hard.
No. If there's one thing I try to avoid doing, it's vigorously choking the chicken.
Oh, jeez.
So
Private Stoneheart to you.
It's a private Stoneheart.
Yeah, so I stand up and kind of take a look at the bird, make sure it's okay, make sure it didn't break any of its feathers. My, quite a striking bird. Beautiful, even.
We gotta smuggle it back to Sammy.
Yes, I wonder.
Make it invisible or something.
Can you do that? I've never seen an invisible bird before.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know that I can make it invisible, but I could make it appear to be something else.
Like a lamppost.
Well, I don't know if I would carry a lamppost. Perhaps a lantern.
Oh yeah, I guess that does make more sense.
So you're just gonna pretend you're still fixing lanterns and go hand them over?
Oh, why yes, I think that might be quite believable. Here, let me just concentrate a moment. Shouldn't take more than a couple seconds. So I kind of squint my eyes, closed, think for a moment, look at the bird, kind of envision a lantern. So I can cover an object of weight 1 that I can touch with an illusion that makes it look like another object.
I'll let you do this, though the bird is a creature, not an object. But I like it.
Right.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and disguise
Already changing the
Private
adventure.
Stoneheart as... yeah, sorry, this isn't rules as written. I'm sorry, Matt Cole. But I'll let you go ahead and make Private Stoneheart.
Already completely broken Matt's RPG.
I like it though. I dig it.
Do you want me to roll for it?
I believe you just, as part of your arcane trick, you just get to do it, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I just didn't, since I'm kind of stretching things, I didn't know if it was worth a roll or not. Squawking things.
Speaking of stretching,
Make me a power intuition roll.
That is a 17.
Yeah, okay. You are able to kind of bend your little trick. Maybe what you do instead is kind of wrap Private Stoneheart in a bit of cloth and skirt the rulings of your own magic and turn the cloth, making like this outer lantern illusion shell for Private Stoneheart in which he rests instead of making him actually look like so. But yes, you're able to
I like that.
Use some ingenuity and kind of utilize your arcane trick and basically encapsulate Private Stoneheart in this faux lantern in which you can carry just out in the open because it's a very well done illusion. As long as it doesn't squawk.
Right, yes.
Happy song. Singing a happy song.
That's excellent. Yeah. We all start kind of humming and whistling, and you can keep Private Stoneheart. Keep Private Stoneheart calm. Samuel is still where you kind of left him, Vorma. Up at the back of the ship, up untucked up by the anchor. You see he's kind of like, he's fidgeting, maybe pacing a little bit. Clearly concerned for Private Stoneheart.
I'll walk up first and go, we found the target. He's, doesn't look like himself right now. Prepare yourself.
What do you mean?
He's fine.
Where is he?
Drop's got him.
He looks towards Drop. What the hell? What do you mean? He's got a lantern.
Well, yes, the untrained eye would assume that this is a lantern, but I have a bit of a surprise for you underneath. Here, open up your...
Yeah, get your jacket ready.
Your jacket.
Can he breathe in there? He flings open his jacket. You can all see like his little stitched-in bird pocket.
Yes, no, I assure you, he's quite all right.
Can he breathe in there?
Of course.
I hold this lantern kind of close to his chest, inside his coat, and slowly unravel the outer layer, and the illusion sort of just disappears as soon as I start to do that. There you are. Private Stoneheart, hopefully as good as when you last saw him.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you all. Oh, my goodness. And you kind of tuck him in. You see, he like from one of his other pockets fishes a handful of like bird seed out and starts feeding Private Stoneheart. The Stoneheart keeps like picking into his hand. Oh, thank you all. Thank you all so much. Whew, I don't know what I would have done if you didn't find him.
Need to keep a better grasp on your bird in the future.
I'll keep him in my coat. Don't worry, he won't get out again.
Keep better control over your privates.
It was, I think what they mean, Samuel, is it was our pleasure. Glad to help.
How much were they charging you for a pet, out of curiosity?
I mean, it was, a few gold pieces more, but I told you, I'm barely got enough for the passages onto the boat.
Right.
Should find cheaper pets. Like, there's all kinds of rats running around here. Make great pets. They'd never notice another one.
I'll keep that in mind, I guess.
Ew. That's gross.
Oh, they're quite friendly, actually. They do lots of stuff for you, and they go fetch, and let you play with them, and their tails curl around your fingers. It's quite lovely, actually.
Yes, Korak is right. The rats are, they can be quite intelligent, actually.
I've known quite a few rats in my time. Have you?
I suppose you could say, I don't know if I would describe it as knowing them, but in a sense, perhaps, yes.
Well, they all have their own personalities, They're quite individualistic.
Yes. You know. Now that you put it that way, I think maybe you're right.
Named a few. I had some good friends that were rats. Let's see. There was Marty and Shirley.
Samuel has also walked away.
Yeah, I walked away. I was like,
I continue
so
naming.
you're trying to tell me that there could possibly be a lot of invisible birds flying around?
No.
You said you've never seen one, but they obviously exist. I don't believe you.
Well, I've never, as I said, I've never seen one, so I don't know.
Drop, is this true? Can animals be made unseen and be amongst us? I look on the ground and around up in the sky.
Well, there are many things you can do with magic, with the arcane arts, but I'm not sure why you would want to spend the time and energy to be making lots of animals invisible, but I suppose it's possible.
Yes, if you go on a merchant vessel.
That's true. The fare you could save may be worth it.
Go over and tap on a lantern. You never know who's trying to get by without pain.
Okay, so for successfully retrieving Private Stoneheart without alerting any crew members, you are awarded another hero token for your troubles. And this day continues on kind of as normal into the next day, the day after that. As you're continuing to sail, you're kind of on like the penultimate day before you would arrive in Blackbottom now. And again, you kind of wake up to the whistle right in the crew quarters, and you all get back up onto deck, or most of you probably up on deck. Korak staying maybe, below deck.
Near the bottom of the stairs, I'm kind of wandering around, going up to the top of the stairs and kind of looking around and going back down.
As you are, again, wandering around Korak below deck, on this day, you overhear two younger passengers. They're clearly like late teenager years. And you kind of hear them just like bickering with each other. Not like fighting or arguing, but they're both complaining about being turned away from the cargo hold. Like, you kind of just get like snippets of what they're saying, right? I can't believe what's in there. They wouldn't let us in. Just wanted to find some privacy around here. As they kind of pass you in the hallway.
I believe you'll find the cargo hold is none of your business, but if you do need some privacy, I can show you a spot I found. Not many people go to.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, sure. Well, why aren't they letting anybody in the cargo hold?
Well, that is people's private possessions. You have no purpose there.
Oh, well, I mean, we have all our luggage in the passenger quarters.
Well, maybe it's the captain's private possessions. Still, if they say you are not allowed, you are not allowed.
Okay, all right. Sorry. We'd still like to, be shown this spot.
What do you plan to do in this private place?
The two of them kind of like look at each other and shyly smirk. Well, I mean, we just wanted some privacy.
Go that way a little bit, turn left, another left, right, and a left. You'll find it.
Thanks. And then they like scamper off, like holding hands.
Use protection.
And you hear Sir Gerald, "Hey, this is my spot. Wait your turn."
By himself?
Yeah, he's got his trident.
Oh dear.
Worse.
Oh yeah.
He's just polishing his trident, everybody. It's fine. He's just maintaining his weaponry. That's it. So this day progresses. Is if there's anything anybody like wants to do that might deviate from this kind of normal routine that they've fallen into as the passages, as the day kind of wanes and you're moving into the last bit of the voyage here on the final day. Same old routines, kind of curling anchors, securing the deck, staying away from the sky.
Oh yeah.
Teleporting all over the place. Great. And then, night comes again, another crew change. and you all settle in for the night, which will go into the last half day of the voyage. As dawn cracks, you don't hear the bell, the little whistle blowing right this time, right? But what kind of breaks the silence, that brief moment right between the shifts, is actually just, instead of a shrill whistle, it's shrill shouts and yelling from above deck. A similar thing like when Lorelei went overboard, but more urgent and more frantic and more people screaming up on top of the deck. Someone screams out, "Fire! Fire!" and you hear like thud, thud, thuds into the side of the ship.
Hi, thanks for joining us. There are a few things we'd like for you to know. You can get more info from our website, incorrigibleparty.com, and we have a World Anvil site now, worldanvil.com/w/Senta-Leland Steel. World Anvil is free, but you do need to make an account. Leland's put a lot of information there for everyone, which is good because between you and us, we all need it. Our music is provided by Tabletop Audio and Sarastro Music. You can support us at patreon.com/incorrigibleparty, or just by telling your friends and anyone who'll listen about your new favorite podcast. Also, give us 5 stars on your favorite podcast listening thingy. The more people know, the more people that'll listen, and the more panicky we become. And last but not least, join our Discord, which is free and open to everyone, and we talk about video games, board games, floofs, and the podcast. Get insider info and be the first to find out about all the new and awesome things. Happy adventuring!
This has been a Sounds of Steel production.